I have been a big fan of Craft Sportswear since I started running 3 years ago. From their jackets to their gloves, it's the perfect kind of gear you want on a cold run, but I never considered trying out their shoes until recently, and that was with the Nordlite Ultra. Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Chris. I am a YouTuber that loves running and running shoes, and today we are here to talk about the Craft Nordlite Ultra. Alright guys, so like I've said in previous videos, I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Lofty goal, I know, but I am trying. So please like and subscribe if you like this content. And please leave a comment below, even if it's a thumbs up emoji. That means a lot to me. It lets me know that people are paying attention and getting something out of this content. I love getting comments from people and responding. It's one of the highlights of my day. So please continue to do that. And again, subscribe and like this content if you can. I'd appreciate it. But before we talk about the Craft Nordlite Ultra, I'd like to get a disclaimer out of the way. This is a shoe I picked up with my own money. All of my thoughts and opinions are my own. No one will have the ability to see this before you do. The Craft Nordlite Ultra is what Craft is calling their most durable, cushioned, and responsive shoe to run in for many different kinds of runs. Mostly long runs, easy miles, but you can take this up into upper paces. This is made up of Craft's Super Critical Foam. It's a CR foam that you'll see branded on the side of the shoe. The CR foam is an ultralight foam made with supercritical processes that provide cushion, stability, and high rebound, is what they're saying. It's also what they're calling one of their lightest shoes. I'm not sure that I would agree with that for a daily trainer, but for a daily trainer that's also a trail shoe, you could make that argument. So let's talk about the specs exactly. The Nordlite Ultra comes in at 11 ounces in a men's size 9, and that's 312 grams. It has a heel stack of 42 millimeters with a forefoot stack of 36 millimeters, giving it a 6 millimeter drop. It does feel like a pretty tall shoe when it's on your foot. I will say that I got it in the small size that they offer it in. I could not find it any smaller than size 8, which is what I get all of my shoes in typically. And even in the size 8, I found the toe box to be very roomy. I found not roomy in a uncomfortable way, but I just wasn't able to really feel like the lockdown was super secure. But I've also found recently that if my lockdown is too tight, it will mess with my foot throughout the run. So overall, it's a pretty comfortable shoe to run in, regardless of the kind of roomy feel that the front of the shoe has. The outsole has their 3-piece lugged traction rubber, which is probably one of the more exciting elements of this shoe. The lugs on the shoe are very much like what you would find on a traditional trail running shoe, even though I think this is a road shoe. But it does have that element, which does allow you to go off-road and have a pretty good time. I did run on a few trails. Some were dirt and some were like crushed rock mixed with some catwalks, some boardwalks, and it transitioned very well. It out of the box and on the ground, that rubber really grabbed the ground. It was very sticky. It reminded me a lot of Puma grip in a good way. I mean, it just felt like it really grabs the ground and kind of propels or rips you forward a little bit. Let's talk about the upper of the shoe. This is a one-piece engineered mesh upper. It is extremely breathable. There aren't really any points on the shoe that get uncomfortable, that get wadded up, or that get kind of scratchy, anything like that. It's a very comfortable, lightweight upper. So something else that I found that I actually liked a lot about this shoe is it's got a very thin tongue. And I'm finding lately that I actually prefer shoes that have the thin tongue with maybe a small little pillow underneath. But I don't really need a super padded upper tongue on this shoe. As long as I feel secure, I'm good with that, and the Craft does that pretty well. So one of the other things that I found very interesting about the shoe is in the description that I was able to find. It does say that there is a Nordlite Ultra carbon midfoot shank that is combined inside of the foam that gives the foam kind of an energetic pop, I would assume, while you're running, and is supposed to improve your running economy. I feel like after taking this out for 50 miles, the foam is it's bouncy, but it's not marshmallowy. It's not like the foam that you would feel in like the New Balance SC Trainer V1, or maybe it's not as soft as the foam you would find in the Endorphin Pro even. It's more like the Nitro foam that you'll find in the DV8 Nitro 2, but I would say it's even less exciting, but it's not painful either. So it's a very comfortable, very durable feeling shoe. It feels like a shoe that you would take off the road into the mountains. But I here in central Indiana in Carmel, I run on roads. I run primarily on the Monon rail to trail road that goes through my community. And even on that, this felt like it handled very well for the most part. Okay, so what was it like to run in the Nordlite Ultra? So this shoe, upon first fit, felt very firm, very, I don't want to say boring, but it wasn't like, I wasn't super excited once I got the shoe on and I walked around in it a little bit. It felt very firm, very strong, and very monotone. But I will say, after getting it out for maybe 2 runs, after I think I took it out on an easy run with some strides, and then I took it out on a longer run. And it was on the longer run that I felt like there was a break-in period on this shoe, and that it became something that was surprisingly comfortable and aiding to my legs while I was running, kind of protecting them and keeping them rested as we get through this Chicago training block. It was surprisingly comfortable. It was a set it and forget it feeling in a shoe. It was something where I could just zone out and enjoy the ride, which I love in shoes. Whenever you can find a shoe that you don't have to think about while you're running, unless it's just because you're so impressed with the way it feels. It's definitely not something where I was like, wow, what am I experiencing? This is, oh my gosh. No, I mean, it wasn't like that, but it was like, oh, cool, these are going to take care of me. These are going to feel great. I don't need to worry about how I'm going to feel tomorrow morning in these shoes. And those are great shoes. These are shoes that I do believe you could put 500-600 miles on, no problem. So I did take them on a longer run that had some marathon efforts in it, and they held up just fine. They never felt like they were holding me back. It is a surprisingly heavy shoe for a daily trainer at 11 ounces and a men's size 9. Mine are roughly that heavy because they are always wet. It's just been so hot outside lately that they've always kind of been wet. But they've never felt like they were weights attached to my feet like some shoes can feel. They did feel surprisingly light while I was running, and they did the work okay. Those marathon efforts were fine. I've done strides in the shoe, and they were able to keep up with that. I don't know that I would take this shoe out for a workout session exclusively. I think because my long run was a lot of easy miles mixed in with marathon pace, and that was about it. That's about as fast as I was going. They handled it just fine. I don't think I would take this to the track. I'm not sure that you would take this on a 5K or 10K race effort. Just not sure you're going to get what you're looking for out of the shoe, and in fact, it probably would hold you back a little bit, or you might be risking even a possible injury from the shoe, because I don't think it's designed for that effort. It was a lot of fun to go off-road in this shoe. That's an avenue of running that I don't have a lot of experience in, and although it is something I'm very interested in and getting into very soon. I did get off of the road and onto some trails with this shoe, and I can see why the lugs on the bottom of this shoe are so important and so prominent. It does grab the trail, keep you going. It is exciting. Our trails around here are fairly flat and fairly non-technical, and so it felt very good. I don't know how great these would be for a true trail run, especially on something that's a little more technical, because these are kind of blockier. The stack in the shoe is pretty impressive for what might be a hybrid what might be a hybrid road and trail shoe. So it's a very big shoe for that, and I don't know that you would feel super confident and comfortable in these particular shoes for a sophisticated trail run. I don't know that this would be exclusively a road shoe. I don't know that you would want to call this a road shoe, a craft road shoe, especially because I don't think that's what they're going for anyways. They're going for a versatile shoe that you can take out probably just about anywhere, and I think that you could. There was a Instagram post that Tommy Ribs put out recently about these shoes, about the fact that he's on his, I don't know if he said like 4th or 5th pair, and they were just beat to hell from one of his latest runs, and he absolutely loves them. And I can see why. Like, if this is Craft's first swing at a critical foam in one of their shoes, I think they've done a pretty good job. I don't know. It doesn't feel like as exciting as other critical foams out there. It does have more of a stiff feel. I don't love stiff foam. I think it works in like the Deviate Nitro too, because it's combined with some of their racing foam, which is a lot softer. But with this, it's not going to compress as much as it looks like it will. But it's a firmer ride, but it's not firm in the way that you will find yourself struggling to finish the run. It's not that kind of firm. It's just it's the perfect amount of structure and stability that you would want in a daily trainer that you're going to become best friends with for hundreds of miles. I think that's a great option for people that are going to be looking for a shoe like that. So the Craft Nordlite Ultra comes in at $159.95 on runningwarehouse.com. Again, the smallest size that I think you can even get the shoe in is an 8, so that definitely isolates an amount of people. But I do think that it is a great daily trainer option, especially for people that live in areas that might have a lot of trails that you can train on that might not be great for your typical road running shoe, which is what you're going to find more of as available options in your community probably. But it's also, it can handle the roads just fine too. It's not a super speedy shoe, but it can handle like marathon pace and maybe even some half marathon pace and my pace group, my pace range. I think it's a great option for someone who's looking for a workhorse shoe that they can, again, set it and forget it, which is some of the best kind of shoes that you can get. It's one of those shoes. So I was really happy with the Craft Nordlite Ultra. I was not expecting it to be as comfortable and as peaceful as it was when I ran in it, especially after trying on some of their racing shoes a little over a year ago, and quite frankly being shocked at how uncomfortable they were, especially because I love craft gear. I'm a huge craft fan when it comes to racing gear, outdoor gear. Honestly, I'm not sure there's a lot out there that's better than craft gear. But with their shoes, I was leery, and I was really happy that I took the chance to pick these up, tried them out. These are fun shoes to run in. Again, my favorite kind are the ones you can set the cruise control on and just go, and these are those shoes. So that does it for this video. We are almost at the peak week of Chicago training. I believe that's going to be next week. I can tell that my body is in the middle of it, in the thick of it, but I am looking forward to Chicago Marathon. I will be doing a video soon about racing shoes, about the racing shoes that I've used and what I have picked out for Chicago. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know what shoe that is, but if not, stay tuned for that video. It should be out soon. Thanks again, guys. As always, take care of yourself, stay hydrated, have fun out there. Catch you on the flip side.